What if you could generate a cinematic video clip that looks like it costs thousands of dollars to shoot simply by typing a description into a text box? That is exactly what Luma Ray 3.2 Inside Dream Machine is promising. It can generate cinematic video clips up to 20 seconds long in 1080p, with more creative control, stronger continuity, and improved visual direction. But today, we're going to find out whether those promises actually hold up when we use it for real creative projects. I'm not here to show you one flashy demonstration that looks impressive for 10 seconds and then falls apart. I want to know whether this tool can genuinely fit into a creator's workflow, produce consistent results, and help you create something worth publishing. If you enjoy discovering practical AI tools and honest, step-by-step tutorials, subscribe to ProfitTube. I test the latest AI tools every week so you can see what's genuinely useful before spending your time or money on them. Now, let's put Luma Ray 3.2 to the test. First, let me give you a quick overview of what Ray 3.2 actually is. Its latest AI video model is available through Luma's creative platform. It is designed to transform written descriptions and visual references into cinematic video clips while giving creators more control over framing, movement, continuity, and the overall direction of a scene. According to Luma, Ray 3.2 can generate videos up to 20 seconds long, with every generation produced in 1080p. That longer duration is especially important because one of the biggest limitations of AI video has always been clip length. Many generators can create an impressive 5-second shot, but that often isn't enough time to develop an action, establish a location, or tell a complete visual moment. With up to 20 seconds available, creators have more room to build shots that feel intentional instead of ending just as the action begins. The idea behind Ray 3.2 is that creators who once needed a production crew, actors, expensive equipment, and access to specific locations can now generate certain kinds of footage directly from a concept. Of course, that doesn't mean it replaces traditional filmmaking, but it can make cinematic visual content far more accessible. Here is where it becomes genuinely interesting. Many AI video generators can produce a beautiful still frame, but the illusion begins to fall apart when everything starts moving. Characters can drift unnaturally, objects may change shape, backgrounds sometimes pulse, and physical interactions don't always make sense. Ray 3.2 is designed to provide stronger motion, continuity, and creative control throughout the shot. This matters when you're trying to create more than a quick visual effect. When your prompt is specific, and I mean truly specific, the results can be surprisingly convincing. You shouldn't describe only what you want to see. You should also explain how the camera moves, what the lighting feels like, how quickly the action unfolds, and what emotional tone the shot should communicate. For example, instead of writing, "a city street at night," you could write, "a slow cinematic camera push through a foggy city street at night. Warm lamplight reflects across wet pavement as a woman in a long red coat walks away from the camera. Light rain falls through the frame, creating a quiet and mysterious atmosphere." The first prompt identifies a location, but the second prompt gives the AI direction. It defines the subject, movement, camera behavior, lighting, weather, color, and emotional tone of the shot. Traditionally, capturing a scene like that could require finding the right location, preparing the lighting, hiring a performer, waiting for the right weather, and bringing in a camera crew. Ray 3.2 can generate an interpretation of that scene directly from your description. However, there is something important you need to understand about using this tool effectively. Vague prompts usually produce generic results. If you enter something simple like "a city at night," you may receive a visually impressive clip, but it probably won't have a clear story or emotional identity. Ray 3.2 gives you more creative control, but you still have to provide the creative direction. Think of it less like a magic button and more like a creative collaborator. It can help execute your vision, but first you need to communicate that vision clearly. So, What makes Ray 3.2 stand out? There are three main areas worth looking at. The first is a longer video generation. It supports clips up to 20 seconds long. That gives you more time for camera movement, character action, scene development, and visual storytelling within a single generation. For YouTube creators, this can make the output more practical for introductions, transitions, storytelling sequences, and cinematic B-roll. The second is creative control and continuity. AI-generated video often struggles to maintain visual logic over the course of a longer shot. A character might change appearance, an object may disappear, or the scene might behave differently from one moment to the next. Ray 3.2 is designed to provide stronger continuity and give creators greater control over how the scene develops. This doesn't guarantee that every generation will be perfect, but it can improve your chances of receiving a clip that remains visually coherent from beginning to end. The third strength is its cinematic direction. Ray 3.2 is designed to follow instructions related to camera movement, composition, atmosphere, pacing, and the progression of the shot. That allows you to direct the scene with more intention instead of simply asking the AI to create something visually attractive. But where does it fit into an actual creator workflow? For social media creators, it can become a rapid variation tool. You can generate several versions of an opening shot, compare them, and choose the one that creates the strongest visual impact. For filmmakers, agencies, and professionals creating pitch decks, mood reels, or concept previews, it offers a way to communicate a visual direction before investing in cameras, actors, or locations. For solo creators producing documentaries, educational videos, faceless YouTube content, or branded stories, it can help fill gaps where traditional B-roll would be expensive, difficult, or impossible to capture. It could also be useful for generating visual hooks. The opening seconds of a video are extremely important, and an unusual cinematic scene can immediately make viewers curious about what happens next. Instead of relying on the same stock footage used by hundreds of other channels, you can create a shot specifically for your story. Now, let's talk about the limitations because you deserve the complete picture. Ray 3.2 is a video generation model. It is not a replacement for your entire editing process. It cannot replace your storytelling instincts, editing skills, or creative judgment. You still need to inspect every result for potential problems with faces, hands, text, object behavior, and continuity. A longer generation doesn't automatically mean perfect consistency either. The longer and more complicated the scene becomes, the more opportunities there may be for something unexpected to happen. Scenes containing several characters, complicated physical interactions, or multiple actions occurring simultaneously may require several attempts. That is why it's often better to begin with one clear subject, one primary action, and one intentional camera movement. You also need to decide whether the generated clip supports the story you're trying to tell. A visually impressive clip is not automatically the right clip for your project. The smartest way to use AI-generated video is to treat it as creative material, not as an automatically finished product. Repeatability is another important consideration. Can you generate multiple clips that maintain the same character, environment, and visual style? It is possible to improve consistency, but it still requires preparation. Clearly defined prompts, carefully selected visual references, and a consistent creative direction give you a better chance of producing clips that feel like they belong in the same project. For example, if you are creating multiple scenes with the same character, don't describe that character differently every time. Create one detailed character description covering their appearance, clothing, age, hairstyle, and any recognizable features. Reuse that description consistently and provide the same reference material whenever the workflow allows it. You should do the same thing with your environment, lighting, color palette, camera style, and overall mood. Here is a simple framework I recommend using before generating any clip. First, decide what the shot should make the viewer feel. Should it feel exciting, mysterious, peaceful, unsettling, inspirational, or dramatic? Second, describe exactly what is happening inside the frame. Identify the subject, the primary action, the environment, and any important visual details. Third, explain how the camera should capture that action. Is it a slow push-in, a tracking shot, a wide establishing shot, a close-up, a handheld movement, or a smooth camera orbit. Finally, consider where the finished clip will be used and who will be watching it. A dramatic horizontal establishing shot for a YouTube documentary requires a different approach from a fast vertical hook created for YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or TikTok. That short preparation step can make a major difference. It separates intentional creative direction from endlessly generating videos and hoping something useful eventually appears. So, who should consider using Luma Ray 3.2? If you create atmospheric content, cinematic B-roll, advertisements, music videos, animated visual stories, or any format where movement and visual direction are important, it is worth exploring. It can also be valuable for businesses, filmmakers, and agencies that want to test visual ideas before committing a serious production budget. For YouTube creators, the biggest opportunity may be generating footage that would otherwise be impossible to record yourself, from historical environments and futuristic cities to fantasy worlds and dramatic product scenes. But the real test of an AI tool is not whether it can produce one impressive clip in a controlled demonstration. It is whether it remains useful across real projects with different requirements, visual styles, and creative goals. Ray 3.2 gives creators longer generations, 1080p output, stronger continuity, and more control over how a shot develops. Those improvements make it a serious option for creators who want to incorporate AI-generated footage into a larger production workflow. But your results will still depend on the strength of your idea, the clarity of your instructions, and your willingness to evaluate and refine each generation. AI video generation is moving incredibly quickly, and Luma Ray 3.2 shows how much more control creators are beginning to have over the final result. Use it with intention, give it specific creative direction, evaluate every output carefully, and remember that the AI provides the raw material, but your decisions are what turn that material into a finished story. And if you want to discover more AI tools for creating videos, images, and content, click the AI Tools playlist appearing on your screen right now with more practical tutorials that will help you find the right tools for your creative workflow. See you in the next video.